Good afternoon and Jai Hind everyone. Today we are going to discuss about merits and demerits of statutory corporation. In previous class we have discussed about its concept and features. Today we will start with the advantages and disadvantages. So the first advantage, they enjoy independence in their functioning and a high degree of operational flexibility. Means whatever functions is performed by statutory corporation, there is operational flexibility and they are free from undesirable, which is not desired, type of government regulation and control. So first of all, the heading of this point you will write operational freedom. There is operational flexibility, you can say operational freedom, and statutory corporation, they are free from government regulations and control. Second advantage, since the funds of these organizations do not come from central budget, so the government generally does not interfere in their financial matters, including their income and receipts. So since the sanctioning of fund is not done by the central budget of the government, so government do not interfere in the financial matters of statutory corporation. Any receipt, any income, any revenue, whatever generated by statutory corporation is not looked after by the government. So the heading you will write freedom from interference. Fund of these organizations do not come from the central budget, that's why there is a lack of interference and it is free from interference of government in its day-to-day working, which ensures better and efficient working also. Now the third point is, since they are autonomous organization and they frame their own policies and procedure. Autonomous means it is run by own. So since they are autonomous organization, so these enterprises are autonomous, so they frame their own policies and procedure with the power assigned to them by the act of statutory corporation. However, the act may require prior approval of a particular ministry on certain issues. On certain issues, approval is required. Otherwise, it is, since it is an autonomous organization, so all the policies and procedures and the powers, they are assigned to them. Means statutory or corporation, they themselves have a power to do the things. Now the last advantage is, a statutory corporation is valuable instrument for economic development and it has a power of the government combined with the initiative of private enterprises. So here the heading you can write facilitates economic growth. Such enterprises contribute to the development of economy and because since they are possessing the power of the government and they also have the support of private enterprises. Private enterprises, they are also taking initiative and helping statutory corporation. Examples of statutory corporations like RBI, Reserve Bank of India, then LIC, Air India, Food Corporation of India, all these are the some examples of statutory corporation. So these are the four merits of statutory corporation. One by one you will write in your fair copy with the headings. Now next will be limitations, disadvantages of statutory corporation. First major disadvantage is theoretical autonomy, means freedom is not in reality, it is only theoretical freedom. In reality, a statutory corporation does not enjoy much operational freedom and flexibility of such enterprise exists only on paper. In reality, it is subject to many rules and regulation and does not enjoy as much operational flexibility as in its working. So first is this. Now the next limitation is government interference. Government and political interference are always been there. The working of public corporation is subject to interference from bureaucrats and politicians, especially in case of major decisions or where huge funds are involved. So the cases in which major decisions cases or the cases in which huge funds are involved, in such a case government interference is very high. So this is also one of the limitation, that is government interference. Third one, where there is a dealing with public, rampant corruption exists. So you can write the simple heading of this: corruption or rampant corruption, where there is a dealing with the public. Whenever statutory corporation deals with the general public, so there is a corruption also which exists, is one of the limitation of statutory corporation. And last is delay in decision making, or you can write delay in action. The government uh, has a practice of appointing advisors to the corporation board. Means government often appoints advisors to corporation board. It negatively affects the freedom in entering into contracts and other decisions, because in case of any disagreement, the matter is referred to the government, which further delays action. So delay in action is also one of the limitation, because government, they appoint the advisors in statutory to the corporation board, which adversely affect the freedom into the entering into contract, because advisors which is appointed to the corporation board, they takes the charge and other decisions. In case of any disagreement, the matter is referred to the government, which further delays the action also. So all these are the merits and demerits of statutory corporation. I hope it is clear to all of you. It is very simple, and all the headings I already told you, because headings are not given in NCERT. Just write the headings and explanation by yourself. Try to write in your fair copy and complete your notes. This is all for today's class. Tomorrow we will start the third type of public sector enterprise, that is government company. This is all for today's class. Tomorrow we will meet with a new topic. Till then, keep learning. Thank you and Jai Hind everyone. Take care.